The name of this book is Later, Gator by Eric Brooks. And this is especially for Stephanie. And the book starts off, on his last day, Gator was moving away. And his friend the crocodile says, "Later, Gator." And the gator says, "After a while, crocodile." And the alligator said goodbye. And the baboon comes up and he says, "Later, Gator." And the gator says, "See you soon, baboon." And he says that to everybody. And then the mongoose comes up and he says, "Later, Gator," because the gator's moving away. And the gator says, "Hang loose, mongoose." And the buffalo says, "Later, Gator," because he knows he's moving away too. And he says, "I gotta go, buffalo." And then he had to go. And the truck is pulling away, and all of his friends are all shouting, "Later, Gator." And the truck driver, his things were all packed up for a long trip, and they drove by the houses and the streets, and they drove through the mountains, and they drove past the fields with the cows and over the bridges to a new place. And in the new house, they say, "Wow, look at that new house." But when Gator got up there, Gator was all alone, and he was sort of sad. He missed his old friends, the panda and the kangaroo and the raccoon. They were all sitting and doing stuff together, but he was by himself. And he was by himself a lot. And he was watching them play, and he was sad because he didn't get to play with them. So he wrote to his old friends. He says, "Dear crocodile, baboon, mongoose, and buffalo." And he wrote them all letters, and he mailed the letters. He went to the post office box and mailed the letters, and then he waited. And he waited. Then his mom walks into his room with letters for him. And his friends had missed him back. And they wrote back things like, "Dear Gator, you're the best reading buddy ever. Share our favorite books with all of your friends." Signed, a baboon. And "Dear Gator, spring ball won't be quite the same this year, but you'll get to learn how to skate. Awesome." And that's from the crocodile. And another one from the buffalo, and he says, "Dear Gator, I miss building cool stuff with you, buddy. Have fun in the snow." And he draws a little picture of himself on the bottom of the letter. And later, another one was from the mongoose, says, "Later, skater, shred hit big air with your new pals." Signed, the goose. And this all made the gator smile and gave him an idea. He's looking out his window, and they're all playing out there. So his mommy walks him out to the front door. He goes out in the snow with his earmuffs and his gloves. And his mom says, "Later, Gator." And the gator said hello to all the other kids out there. He says, "Howdy do, kangaroo." And the kangaroo says, "Hi, guy." And then he looks at the panda and he says, "Hi there, panda bear." And the panda says, "Hi, guy." He's saying hello to everyone. And then he sees the gecko. And he says, "Hello, gecko." And the little gecko's a hockey player. And he says, "Hi, guy." And then he sees a raccoon. And he says, "Afternoon, raccoon." And the raccoon says, "Hi, guy." And he's been reading a book because he's got one tucked under his arm. And then it was easier than he thought. He had made some new friends. And when he was leaving, they all said, "Later, Gator," just like his friends at his old house. And he's smiling and waving, and it's just like the old days. So that's pretty much it. He writes back to his friends in the old neighborhood and he says, "Dear Mongoose, my new friend Kangaroo gets huge air on her sled. Miss you." And then he writes to his buddy, the crocodile, his old buddy, "Do you like my hockey mask? No baseball yet, but Geeko is teaching me his extra slap shot to play hockey." And then he writes to his old buddy, the baboon, and he says, "Dear baboon, Raccoon and I have been trading books, and she's pretty excited about the Super Gator comics too. Signed, the Gator." And he writes to the buffalo, "Snow is amazing, the buildings are great." And he's got himself now a whole new group of friends in his new home. So moving wasn't so bad. He's now got new friends and he's having a big, good old time. Okay. Bye, Stephanie. We love you. This is Papa.